headlines. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Take. Thank you for being with us. Adam Schefter, Chris Canty, Hawk in the building. Guys all warmed up. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. First time in the new studio.
What do you
Still
think?
got that new car smell
like
to it.
digs?
Oh, yeah.
We got to get you up in that frame at some point.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
We got to make it happen.
We got to make that happen.
We got to figure out what's going on in Dallas, and I will be leaning on you especially, sir. That's where we're beginning. Okay, so the Cowboys have been talking Super Bowl. Jerry stepped up to the mic yesterday, and let's get you up to speed on the latest drama. Star linebacker Micah Parsons is seeking a contract extension that can make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. He's reportedly looking for a $200 million extension while he attended mandatory minicamp, still working towards that new deal with the team. Jerry Jones taking some shots at Micah and his quarterback, Dak Prescott. Oh, Jerry, the gift that keeps on giving.
Just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Well, there's that. Then Micah Parsons retweeted this post by J.J. Watt that said, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before your season begins, you just got to take it, guys. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. You can't make this stuff up. Chris Canty, your takeaway from what Jerry had to say.
Yeah, Jerry Jones has gotten to the place that we all have experienced one time or another with our parents as they age, where they'll literally say anything, no filter. That's where we're at. Jerry Jones is saying anything to and about his players, and it does not help the efforts of the franchise to be able to get a contract extension done. Now, Jerry Jones is coming at that from a level of privilege because he knows how the movie ends. He knows what he's willing to pay Micah Parsons. And at the end of this, as you mentioned several times before, Shefty, Micah Parsons is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So if Jerry Jones knows how the movie ends, he can literally say whatever he wants.
He may know how the movie is going to end, but it also helps to start that movie. And they haven't even submitted a contract proposal yet to Micah Parsons. So there are no negotiations. And so we may try to get to the end of that movie, but there's a lot of movie to play. There's 2.5 hours that we still have to get through. We haven't even gotten to the opening credits or anything like that because nothing has happened. And so for all the talk that we've had about Micah and a contract and how close they are or aren't, they're not close.
Yeah, what is the latest on that?
They haven't started. There's been no negotiations. So at some point this summer, everybody's expecting and waiting for that deal to get done, but they're not getting a deal done until they can start talks, come up with offers, and there have been no offers exchanged so far.
This is the same tactic and talking point Jerry Jones has used every time he's in a contract disputing camp. He did it with Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, he did it with CeeDee Lamb, and this is the same thing. He says something publicly that he's likely talking to the agents or the player about behind closed doors. It is posturing. It is saying, hey, we have to think about injuries or somebody getting hit by a car before we commit guaranteed money. Yeah, are you new here? This is how football works. He understands that. But I do think it's a setup for when he has those conversations for him to have the out of saying, I said it to you, and I've also said it publicly.
Yeah. I'm just curious, as two former players, how you would react to your owner saying that ahead of negotiations.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great, but I'm sure Myles Garrett didn't feel great when Jimmy Haslam refused to meet with him after he requested an audience after making trade demands. But how did they put a Band-Aid on that situation? They made him the highest paid non-quarterback in all of football. It's the same game plan with Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons. They are going to make this right. They are going to eventually pay him. But what Jerry is doing in the process is generating the headlines to keep the Dallas Cowboys top of mind as everybody reports to training camp.
Is that what you believe the thought process is in this? Because it feels distasteful, but do you feel like it's purely just to be, you know, to start the A block of First Take?
I just think, no, I don't think it's to start the A block of First Take.
Well, you know what I mean, headlines.
I understand, but I think, again, this is just what they've done. All we have to do is go back to last offseason. They could have signed Dak Prescott early in the offseason before Jared Goff got his deal done in early May for $52 million. Dak would have taken a deal, would have been happy to help out with the cap. They would have saved roughly $7, $8, $9 million per year. CeeDee Lamb wanted to wait for some of the other receivers. They didn't come strong enough to make him move off that stance. They waited until late August to sign CeeDee Lamb to a deal that wound up costing him an extra $4 million per year. If you take the $7 and $8 million from Dak, and $1, $2, $3 from CeeDee Lamb, all of a sudden you're looking at $9, $10 million. What is that enough money for? A player like Derrick Henry that they said they couldn't have afforded.
Yeah.
If they acted sooner, they could have afforded Derrick Henry. But they don't act with any urgency in these contract negotiations, whether that's to be on the A block of First Take, whether it's to be on another show, whether Jerry Jones wants everybody talking about him. Again, we were talking about this morning. Jerry Jones is one of the great marketers, not just in sports history, but American history.
Yeah.
He is the NFL modern day version of P.T. Barnum. That's what he does. You could argue with the results all you want. You could say that it's costing the team millions. This is what has worked for him in his mind. This is the playbook he has used, and he's using that playbook again.
But they haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s, and I understand what you're saying in terms of the marketing, but he also has to care about the bottom line. And how is this productive to continue to do this?
I mean, the issue is the GM reports to the owner, and he's both of those things, right? So he only has himself to blame for the efficiency. And if I'm making the mistakes of not saving money, enabling my team to have an asset like Derrick Henry to make us a better football team, that's on me, but there's no one that has anybody in place to have those checks and balances. He talks about like injuries and the chance that someone could be hit by a car as some revelatory thing that we don't understand as a part of the negotiation process. And to your point, now you're playing the public image of it all. So Micah Parsons has to retweet J.J. Watt to show that there's other people in support of me. And as a player, that doesn't feel good, especially when negotiations or conversations are tense. And it also sends a bad message to your locker room because we are invested into this process with the belief that if we hold up our end of the bargain, if we perform under the contract we're in, we'll be rewarded with the market rate. That's what Micah Parsons wants. And for your players, if you're not going to give Dak Prescott a contract or Micah Parsons a contract or CeeDee Lamb a contract, where do I stand a chance?
Yeah, well, Parsons is the best player on that football team.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, they're not as good as Micah Parsons at their jobs as he is at his job, right? 330 pressures, 52.5 sacks in the first 4 years of his NFL career, 12 sacks each of the first 4 seasons, 3-time All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year. This is the best defensive weapon, the most versatile defensive weapon in all of football. So there is no conversation around the Dallas Cowboys needing to see more from Micah Parsons in order to justify a payday. The only reason that this is dragged out is because Jerry Jones has allowed it to drag out for whatever reason. Now, Shefty, I asked you the question on my radio show earlier today. Which one does Jerry Jones care more about? Is it headlines or is it salary cap space? And you said he values both of them.
Yeah.
But it's probably secondary in terms of the cap space to the headlines that he's generating.
Well, again, I don't think he thinks as much about the cap space. If he did, he would be proactive in these cases.
His actions speak louder than his words. And he's showing us that he doesn't care about the cap space.